Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to start Nevaeh's Wild One first birthday party prep. I'm starting today because there's stuff I can do today that isn't gonna matter about timing or going, I don't have to worry about it going bad. But first things first, I think my Walmart delivery order was just delivered. Yes. Okay. So let me go get that. I'll give you a haul and we'll go from there. Okay, so here's my Walmart order. I ended up taking that stuff out of the bags because I didn't see my animal crackers. And then it turns out they were underneath my 3 bags of powdered sugar. This is 6 pounds, or no. Yeah. This is 6 pounds of powdered sugar. That's a lot to go on top of a bag of animal crackers. So I got that. I got I got two liters of Sprite and a 2-liter ginger ale. I got 18 eggs, a poster board, a bag of wavy Lays, a box of Velveeta, bread flour, which you can't tell because it's upside down, 3 packs of yeast, so that's my eggs. Oh, command strips for Nevaeh's high chair banner, butter, chip dip, and 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks of cheese for the Lion Lunchable I'm making, and a block of cream cheese. So that's the Walmart heart. Now I'm going to get this put away and then I'll get started on all of her party prep stuff. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do for her party prep is go through, fold all of these cards, and write the name of the food on them, because these are for the table. So these are for the food and the drinks, just kind of like goofy little labels. You don't have to do this, but I wanted to. So I'm going to go through these, get them folded, and then start labeling everything. Okay, so I kind of explained what I was doing with these cards in the beginning, but I just wanted to get them folded, and then I was going to write like what food and drink and all. It was a waste, but they are cute if you do have the time and you do get to set them out. We were just running, I didn't have really enough time to finish it, so yeah, so these are the things that kind of got, I designed these by myself on Canva, and I did some with the leaves and I did some with the animals. In any of this stuff I've designed, then let me know and I will find a way to make it available to you.
all the presents were wrapped. I had them piled in that box. And there was one at my grandpa's that goes in that bag. But I forgot to wrap it when it was this past weekend, so I'm going to take that bag and I'll wrap it on Friday. Presents are wrapped.
Okay, so after I got the little cards done, I just got my cookie cutters out and went to town on working on the sugar cookies. I have shared the sugar cookie Okay, so the next thing I did after the sugar cookies baked and cooled for a while, because I wanted the stove to be a little bit cooled off because it heats up in the oven really bad. I wanted to make the zebra tail pretzel rods. So I melted my white candy melts and then I just dumped them in this glass so I could dip pretty much the entire pretzel and not just a tiny bit of it, but I dipped them in white chocolate. After that it's set, I drizzled them with black candy melts for the stripes. The next thing I got started on was giraffe spots. It's a golden Oreo, and I melted some chocolate chips because I wanted the giraffe spots to be brown. And I just drew spots all over the golden Oreos. And before you even ask, yes, we went a little crazy, went a little overboard on all the stuff we made, but it was so cute and it tasted so good. Everyone loved it, and I know this is for her first birthday, so she won't remember it, but I will, everyone else will, and to me me, that's worth it because I've got pictures, I've got videos to look back on, and that in my head, that's why I do this. I just want the memories of it for her and for me and anybody else who just happens to watch these videos, and I hope it helps some of you a little bit. So if anybody's having a jungle theme party or a safari party, or like I did, a wild one party, then this video is out here to help you and possibly give you some ideas. Hey guys, so today is Thursday. It's day 2 of party prep. Today's goal is to bake the cakes, decorate the cookies, and if I get time, to make the pretzel sticks I was going to make. So let's go get started. making soft pretzels as well. I did pretzel sticks instead of like pretzels, and we called them snakes because I shaped them like snakes. You'll see that later. And this is not my recipe. This is Duff Goldman's pretzel recipe. If I can find it online, I will link it. And if not, I'll type it. Or if I don't put it in the description box and you want it, let me know. And I will add it to the description box as well as put it in a comment. So, yeah. Because I talk about adding the descriptions and all that, and half the time it doesn't happen. But almost all of these pretzels were gone the day at the party. I think I have 4 left, so these were a big hit and totally worth it. Because these are very time consuming. Not the mixing up and all that, but the rise time and all of the stuff that goes along with the rise time and the rolling out the dough and the shaping of it. So, yeah. like after they were done. See, they kind of look like snakes. Some look like snakes that have eaten something, but yeah. Okay, so at this point, my cookies are done cooling because it's the next day at this point from when I did my cookies. So I am decorating the cookies. Like I said, I did royal icing. I had worked with royal icing a little bit in the past, but never to this capacity, and I'm honestly kind of shocked on how well these turned out. And I even went the extra step of packaging them up. I know I didn't have to, but I thought it would be cute in case someone wanted one as as a favor or something. But these tasted amazing. Like, I don't know, I've made this cookie dough for years, but for some reason this time it tasted 100 times better. I don't know if it was because of the icing or if it was because of her party or what, but to me, these cookies alone were worth it. After I decorated the cookies, I also ended up decorating the cake this night. So this was my longest night of work, and this was Thursday night, so. But I ended up doing a lion cake. I saw something on Pinterest and thought I can recreate that or recreate something similar to that. It's just funny. I've been doing cakes for years, and I honestly think I'm better at cookies than I am decorating cakes anymore. But if you've been watching the last few vlogs, then you know that we're just kind of caked out in this family. Okay, so it is Friday. We are one day away from the party. So today is a lot. Today I need to package the cookies I made yesterday. I need to bake tiger brownies.
I'll show you how to do that. I think I have in a Halloween video, but it's been a while. I call them Halloween brownies then. Now they're tiger brownies because it's a brownie base. I'm going to make orange cream cheese stuff to go on top of it and swirl it so it's going to look like a tiger stripe. And then when I get to my grandpa's today, because we're having the party at my aunt and uncle's who live up the hill from him, I've got to blow up balloons, make the balloon garland, and I've got to make, I've got a lot to do today. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to go get started.
Okay, so tiger brownies. Like I said, I have shared this recipe before. I will link it in the description box, but basically it's a box brownie mix with the equivalent of it's a box brownie mix, and instead of oil you use the equivalent in butter, and instead of oil you use the equivalent, or water, and you use milk, and then you add an extra egg to it, and then in a separate bowl you mix up one block of cream cheese, an 8-ounce block, and one egg, and whatever food coloring you want. You don't have to have food coloring in. I did in this case because I needed it to look like tiger stripes. And I absolutely love these brownies, but to the point of it could be an addiction. So if you make these, just be forewarned, these are delicious. Friday night of blowing up balloons or anything, and I didn't get any setup footage for Saturday, but I did get some pictures of what everything looked like. So this was the little gift area. This was, I just set this on the, in front, underneath the TV. That was her sign of all her stats. A little photo garland of how big she's gotten over the year, along the year. And this was like the dessert station. And then we did the food area. And I did show some of the food when it was set out. This was my lion lunch bowl. I didn't cut up any cheese, but we ran out of time, so everybody loved it because it was a cheese ball. The cupcakes, we just put those little toppers in it. Her little smash cake. And I will be doing a party vlog, like the day of the party vlog, which is should be my next video. So yes. And that was her little high chair setup until she got it. And she pulled that side off, so that's why it's hanging like that. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up. Hit the red subscribe button down below. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.